Friday morning, everybody. I was going to say Monday morning. Good night. It's Friday. I got my buddy with me, Lamar Station from Louisville, the appliance professional. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing? How you doing? Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to your audience.
Yes. Man, we made it. We made it to Friday. What we going to do? Andrew, I see you, buddy. We're here. We got till 8 o'clock, but we're here, man. Thanks for tuning in. Man, I was thinking, hey, where's Kyle at? Kyle ain't been on in a while. Kyle, are you alive? Kyle, if you're here, somebody tell Kyle we're still here every morning. I don't know if his boss has got him working too much now. Rob Jones, what's up, man? Rob's helping me out on something.
Rob,
buddy. Thank you. Good to see you guys. So, good morning. Morning. You still doing Friday Slack day?
Well, since I have two new texts,
day?
I have 2 new texts thanks to you. I'm letting them come in at 10 today, but yeah, we're still doing training. So I got to put in a little time on Fridays. I'm trying to start a little later, end a little earlier today. But next week I plan to be back on track. I had last Friday off though.
Yeah, I tell you, having a day to just reset, whether you take it off or spend it in the office, as a business owner, it matters.
Right.
Morning, George.
So
We enjoyed your show you was on last week, brother. I meant to reach out. Thanks for sharing your testimony, man. You're a good dude. We appreciate it. I'm trying to do. I try to do Wednesdays in the office,
right.
And as we're getting busy, I'm trying to do Monday also.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I work, it's every time I have a day that I have scheduled in the office, and then a call will come up, and I'm like, just throw it on Monday.
Right.
Just throw it on Monday. I'll do it. And next thing you know, I got 6 calls on my office day. It's hard to do. It's hard to do.
It's very hard to do. My wife I tell her, I was like, hey, don't put any jobs on this day. And then as the phone's ringing, she'll tell me, or some customer give her a story of why we need to get there sooner, and she has a heart too. So she's like, well, it's real close. You can just swing by there and just look at it for then
next thing you know.
Next thing you know, I'm like, all right, put it at 7 a.m. I'm not gonna do it at 7. All right, put it at 9. I'll swing by there. So yeah, that happens a lot.
Have you noticed the customer that just needs you to come like as soon as you can, and they might just be just outside of where you want to go, and you're like, all right, I feel your story. I'll be there. All right, can you come after 5? I don't get home till 5.
Right.
Like, no. I want to be home at 5. Come on.
Yeah, it's like we have 4-hour windows. We're like, yeah, we'll be there between noon and 4. Well, can you come between 5 and 7? I get off from the plane at 4:30. I was like, man. But I end up doing it. You know what I mean? And then that's when traffic and school's letting out now. It's like, oh my gosh. So yeah. Common story, man. Common story. It's like answering the phone at the end of the business day. Like, don't take that last phone call. Don't do it. It never ends well. So that last job day in a late time slot, usually didn't end very well for me either.
We got a little distracted here. YouTube wasn't on. Now it is. Andrew's in on YouTube now. All right, good.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. We're going to talk about wowing the customer today. After we talk about some of the customers that kind of get on our nerves, we won't stick in the negatives, but we got to talk. A lot of times we're out there by ourselves, right? And then like something great happens or something bad happens, and you're like, you just carry it. You can't take it home to yeah.
Yeah.
He says, 3:39 on Friday. Can you get here? Yeah, I'll tell you, man. When it's Friday and they're booking, like I have my office help doing my booking, and I get an email every time that they take a call, so I can see what happened to the call, if they booked it or if they didn't. And I'll see on Friday afternoon that they didn't want to wait till our next available. I'm like, shit, we got available on Monday.
Right.
We got available on Tuesday or something. Like, can't wait till Monday?
Right.
For your dishwasher? For your dryer? Like, all right. That's why we weed them out, I guess.
Yeah, but then they can't find anybody to come quick enough, and they call you back. Hey, you still got Monday open? It's like, hey, sorry,
we're on Thursday.
Yeah, right. That's how it happens. Hey, sorry.
We had back when my wife was answering the phone, we had a couple like that. One in particular called, and it's like, I can't wait 2 days. I got to call around.
Right.
And then she told me, I was like, well, when they call back, give them 2 days farther out.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh man, like they call back the next day, like, oh shoot, I can't wait. I can't wait 4 days.
Right.
Like, all right, well, call around. They call around, and the next day he's like, we're to Friday now. And he's like, all right, I'll take Friday.
Yeah,
can you come after 5? he was that guy too.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, can you come after 5? Like.
So, wowing the customer, the one that you want, you find the customer you want, and you want to take care of them. Saul's got the lead in. Good morning. How do you wow a customer who says, I know what's wrong, just tell how much you're going to charge? Oh, okay. Let's start with that then. All right. That one's a hard one. Customer calls you. I already know what's wrong with it. Can you just tell me?
Right.
Can you tell me how much it's going to cost? I don't know if that's the customer I want to wow, but how do you respond to that, Lamar?
Well, I'll make the quick joke and I'll say that's the customer that calls, and the first thing I say is, "Wow." So
that's how you wow that customer.
That's how I wow them. Wow, they really do that. So my wife answers all the calls, Eureka, and be honest, that's not my customer. So that's the one that she talks to long enough and reiterates our process long enough. So the first thing that she's going to say is, well, sir, the way our process works is, because you're telling us what the symptom is, but it may not be the cause, and it doesn't make sense as a professional to come out there, put this thing on, and it may not address the issue. Then what happens? So at that point we say, we'll come out, we'll do a service call fee. We'll do a service call. There's a fee associated with it. We're going to look at the entire system to make sure we address any and all issues. And then we'll have that conversation with you. Same thing as when you go to the auto mechanic and, he lays it out. And before we do any work, we're going to have, a conversation about what the parts and the labor. You may be correct, but, we will have to do our own analysis because we're going to back this thing up. We're going to give you, a warranty on the parts and a warranty on the labor. So once we explain that enough times, usually they go somewhere else, but she also gives them options. She's like, well, what you're doing, you may want to go to something like Thumbtack or, somebody who's not going to charge a lot of money if you already have the solution to the problem. The way we work is we do provide a professional service to you, and we're going to back it up. Oh, by the way, and we're local, and we're veteran owned, so we pile it on top. But yeah, usually by the end of that conversation, the person is like either got it, I'll book you guys, come on, or you know what, I'm gonna call somebody else. We're not interested in that game of I know the answer and I just need you to come either throw some parts on or this is exactly what I need you to do. It's like we're going to be objective as we look at it.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. I'm not trying to get rid of them, but at the same time we're so busy. I want to screen them. So we'll say something like, well, our service charge is $89 to come out and figure it out. And we'll tell you exactly what's wrong with it. And we guarantee that we guarantee the repair. And we're using OEM parts, all of this, da 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 da. And if they don't find the service charge worth it to find out, then they might say no. But if they say, well, what? Just pretend.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend it's the heating element. Or pretend it's the control board. How much is it? I said, well, our average repair is $250 to $350 plus parts and taxes.
Right.
And if they're scared of that,
mm-hmm.
then don't waste your money having us come out.
Absolutely.
I could be lower. I don't tell them that. I'm just saying, hey, it's our average, and it happens. It happens. If it don't, okay. We find out who it is, or if they care. We got South Florida in the house. What's up, David? David and Saul, they're probably watching together. They're in the same city, I think. Close by.
Morning.
Morning, Chris. Andrew says, it's been broke for 2 months, but I need it fixed by Thanksgiving on the Monday before.
Monday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, on that note, start your oven ads on Facebook and stuff at the 1st of November. Tell them, don't wait. We're going to be booked. We're going to be booked. Says, I appreciate the likelihood of your diagnosis, but I should really verify the issue. Likely you'll be between small number and big number. Yeah, see, he's got it. That's a good way to do it. Will you have the part? What's your response to that? I say, well, we have fully stocked vans, and we have a really good chance of having the right part with us, especially if you provide the model number. But some parts are less common. We may not have it.
Right. Yeah, we're a little different market here. We're 20 minutes from the Marcone warehouse. So for me, most of the time I'm in heavy GE country because of the plant here. So most of the time I can tell people, with certainty that, most likely we will be able to get the part. We have the largest warehouse, one of the largest warehouses by volume, and they carry a lot of common parts. But if I can't get it, I will let you know, when I'm on site, because I have my laptop and I put stuff up and, I'll check inventory and all that. But yeah, I try my best to show up with parts, man. If possible, we're putting an order in and I'm sending my wife for one of the techs on a Marcone run, take everything out of our locker and let's try to have it available for the customer.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's I mean, you can't promise that you're gonna have it. Right. Now if they're saying, hey, I think it's the heating element, and you give me a model number, I'm gonna have it with me. Chances are I have it anyways.
Right.
We carry most of the heating element. We can fix most dryers on the first trip. Everybody should be able to.
Right.
So, wowing the customer, you get the customer. Where does wowing the customer start, Lamar?
So for our process, man, wowing the customer starts at the first point of contact. Immediately, as soon as they call in, like I told you, my wife, she's been doing this for a while. She used to take appliance calls for Best Buy. Well, actually, it was for Geek Squad, but all the same. And so she's kind of mastered that first touch point where, when that customer calls in, like she's laughing, having to, calling her by her first name or him or her, and just making them feel at ease, making them feel like, wow, I've called a company that, number one, answers the phone. Number two is local, and number three really cares. So yeah, for us, that's the point we lose. We win them or lose them, and if we can if we win them at the first point, then me coming behind as a technician, man, it's that much easier. It's like they blew a hole through the canyon and I just run through. You know what I mean?
Bro, you're set up for success.
Absolutely.
The CSR is important.
Yes.
I can argue that it starts even before they make the phone call.
Okay.
At the referral or the website or the ad. But yeah, once they get in contact with somebody,
right,
when they start that process, you're on. You're on the line right now. You have a small amount of time to get that point across. And we was talking about this yesterday, me and one of my techs. When you're selling something, it's like we was talking about that direct drive washer I was telling you about in the pre-roll.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told the customer, I said, hey, I sold a repair on one of these 20-year-old machines for $700 2 weeks ago because they're worth fixing, right? You have to have that relationship and the ability to express the value in something, right? And it starts in the phone call.
Right.
They have to believe you, and it's more than words that you say.
Right.
Like you can write a script and give it to everybody in the world, and how they say it changes how it's perceived, right? Like I can tell you, I can tell the same person it's going to cost you $700 for a transmission repair, and I can either use that as a way to sell it or to walk from it. It's a matter of how I say it.
Right.
I can influence you to buy it or not buy it. You have to care, right?
Yep.
If you want to get that reaction to go the way you intend it to go, if you believe they should make the repair, use that emphasis, right? If you think I really think they should buy a new one, get that point across, and it's in your tone, your body language, all of the interactions up to, that you have to build that trust. And man, it does start right in that first phone call. If your CSR don't sound like they know what the heck they're doing, they don't have trust in you. Yeah, they want to know my model number. Like, did they really get my address right? Are they going to show up?
Right. Right.
It matters.
And I always go off the old adage, and it's leadership too, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
Eureka will look, there'll be calls where they'll be like, hey, I got this, old refrigerator, blah, blah, she'll like start laughing. Like, she's like, man, don't you put another dollar into that thing? They are known for this, and like she's breaking it down to them, and they're just like, wow, man, thank you so much. Somebody else would have did. She's like, nah, she's like, it's not worth our time or yours. Like, we would not do that to you, especially like a big bearing job. Where that lady yesterday called, she's like, the other guy said it'd be $800. What would you charge? And she's like, ma'am, that's a lot of labor. For that machine, that old, you are setting yourself up for failure. Everything else still has mileage on it. They just had a long conversation. Because she cares. She genuinely cares about the customer and the business.
You can't teach that. You can't teach that. And me and you were lucky building our businesses. We had our wives handle that role, and our wives were vested.
Right.
Not all wives are, and and this ain't one sex to the other. Okay. You have to, if you're a husband and wife team, whether the wife's the tech or the CSR and vice versa, right?
Right.
If you're a team, you have to both be into it. You have to both care and be vested in what's, whatever happens, it's for the good of us.
Right.
Right. And our wives care. Andrew says at the end, he likes to say, is there anything else? Questions are free. He has that little spiel where it's, he says, questions are free. We've already done what else? And it changes, but stays. He says, but the point stays the same. But so you got them on the phone, and you wowed them with asking the right questions. You're showing that you care, right? And the Chick-fil-A thing, right? How may I serve you, right? You don't have to use those words, but how you interact shows that you care. I have it in my script where it says, I'm sorry you're having that problem. Let me see how we can help you and get some information, right? It's just how you portray that. So you've got the call booked.
Right.
How you wowing them between booking the call and getting to their house?
All right. So 3 key things for us is, of course, we want to do our pregame and be prepared. We want to be at the right place at the right time with the right information. Okay. But even beyond that, just for my 23 years in the military, I'm about dress and appearance. Okay. So I tell the story sometimes where I was an executive officer and I had this colonel, and he had this project he had me to do. And so I worked on it all night, put it together, had a binder. He had to go to the Pentagon. And so I sit down with him. I said, "Hey, sir, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm ready to go over the brief." And he grabs the book and he puts it on the other side of the table. And I'm like, "Okay, are you ready to go?" He looks at the binder again. He says, "Hey," looks me in the eye and he says, "If it looks good, it is good. I'm done." You know what I mean? So I walk back out of the office. And that's how I do with customers. It's like, if it looks good, it is good. So everything from the beginning to where I arrive on site, to where we call them the day before, where we communicate with them, where we go get parts, where I wear my uniform, my vehicle's wrapped, all that is part of running the same script all the way and being consistent and building trust in them that, man, this guy is really, really prepared, serious about my business, serious about being a business person. And he's going to take that same level of professionalism into solving my problem and following up if there's an issue. So it's just being consistent throughout the whole process.
That's right. That's right. Letting them know what's going to happen. And you say you're going to do something, be there and do it, right? I'm going to be here between X time and X time. Show up. Let them know you're on the way.
Send them the pre-notification, and we get the text back that says, "Okay, thank you." We're using House Call Pro. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And those little details matter. Like they really matter.
House Call Pro has stepped my game up in that area as well. Me and you both using them. The text, the on the way text, the booking reminder, the when you're finished getting. I'm sending the Google review, racking them up. I'm heading for Mr. Appliance in Lexington. You're going down. Might be next year, but I'm gonna catch you. You're not
What's getting your total right
now? Well, I got two GMBs. Okay. And I'm 458 on one. Okay. And 160-ish on the other. So what's that? Like 600?
Man. And you have
900.
You have 3 techs?
Well, 2 full-time and myself. The other guy's going full-time. Well, we're going to start the transition this week. He's actually doing 2 part installs today and 3 new service calls today.
Got it. Do you send a review on
every picking?
Do you send a review on every service call?
Every one, whether I want to or not.
That's awesome. Okay, got it. I need to get my numbers up. Okay.
So here's a I mean, even if it's a bad experience,
right.
We need to have it. I don't want the bad reviews,
right?
But I don't know. I could. House Call has a way you can screen it to where only if you put a tag in the job, like no review,
right,
and it won't send a review. But I have my review link in the finish text.
Okay.
So where I have two GMBs, pro tip, if you have 2 GMBs, one of them is set up with House Call to send anyways, whether I click finish or not. The other one is on my finish text. So depending on which link they click, it's how they both grow at the same time.
Nice.
House Call, you need to get it set up to where we can send different texts to different GMBs. There's that. We have a question for both of us can answer. It was directed at me, but you, sir, are in a BNI also. You're one of the ones that influenced me to do it. Andrew says, have you found anything that wows your BNI group? Andrew's in BNI as well. So I'll answer first. If I'm reading it correct, that wows my BNI group. So how do I influence my BNI group? And I think it's the same thing that you were talking about, Lamar.
Yep.
Consistency, professional appearance, and showing that you care in your knowledge. So the stories that you tell each week in your introduction, I did my 20-minute presentation. I spent a few minutes on my reviews. I want them to know, hey, I'm not just saying we're good. You know, I had 3 different slides with just reviews on it, and each one of them was like 5 reviews from the same day. 5 reviews from the same day, 6 reviews over 3 days. I was like, this is consistency. This is just a random 3-day clip,
Right.
that, you know, where we get 15 reviews over a week. I think that's how you do it. You know, you build the relationships and you build and trust over time.
Right.
But I'm about 2.5, 3 months in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't show up looking like a slob. You don't
Right.
show up late, and you help each other. That's what BNI is. If y'all don't know what BNI, Business Networking International, hook it up. If there is a membership fee, you got to show up on weekly meetings and do some different things, but it pays for itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. The only thing I would add is use the services of the people in your group. Okay. Yeah, you're going to go out and refer them to other people. That's fine. But be a consumer of the products and services in your own group. Okay. So, you know, like my marketing flyers, the marketing person in my group, you know, if I have insurance questions, I'm going to the person in my group. I'm finishing a refinance with the mortgage guy in my group. You know what I mean? It's you definitely want to use their services, because then they're more inclined to make sure, you know, they reciprocate and through their network of people. And then in your BNI group, lean on your plumber and your electrician. Okay. The plumber gives me the most jobs in BNI because they don't want to touch those dishwashers all day. You know, they're in the house and the customer's like, oh, well, you know, it's a leak. And they're like, look, it's a dishwasher. I got an appliance guy. I'm gonna send them over, you know. We get a lot of repeat business from that. So those would be 2 things I would add.
Yeah. Mullenhow. Did I say it right, Jim? They got contract with Mila with their BNI. Nice. We got some comments rolling in. Great ideas. Thank you, Alex. You able to send Google reviews through house call? Yeah, I think we just covered that. Yeah, that's how that works. Andrew, his advice: presentation matters. Having a fully stocked tool bag is part of my image. That's another topic, Andrew. He likes pushing that button. So, Lamar.
Yes, sir.
Are you a big bag or small bag guy?
Well, I was a big bag guy until one of my techs was carrying my bags for me. Feel like I was on a golf course. And she's like, man, this bag is big. You need to, you know, so she just gave me the business. And I said, okay. I said, well, you know, redo my bag. So she got a smaller bag, was able to get everything fit right in there. I carry that thing. I'm so happy. Oh, man, I'm a small bag guy now. I've converted.
Yeah, I'm a small bag guy too. I was like a 35-pound bag guy when I was in maintenance, carrying wrenches and stuff. And then I went to the big backpack bag where I could carry everything to work on, washers and whatnot.
Right.
You know, I had air shims in there and clamp pliers, hose pinch pliers, and I finally listened about the Vito MB bag, the little bag. And man, I could fit my pliers in there, a couple of screwdrivers, nut driver, my drill, and a meter. I'm done. I could just walk in with my little man purse, and I'm good.
Right.
What about the fanny pack? I've seen a couple of people wearing the fanny pack tool bag. I can't do that.
I can't.
No,
I pass.
So, Andrew, question for you. You said your first BNI, wow, was a tagline. What's the tagline, man? Tell us. Was it the Great Miami Appliance Repair, a river of knowledge? Was that it? Let us know, buddy. Is that how you wow a customer? Change filter, clean filter, last one was if it's loud, leaks, or your spouse broke it, give me a call. Oh, those are his taglines. All right. Bait taken. I got it. Hey, tell Zach that I got it first. Mal in How. That's how you spell Malinjow. Malinjow is Mullenhow. Zach. You can count it as a 1-to-1. All right. Put it in. I'll take it. I need some. River of knowledge. All right. So you book the call. Mm-hmm. You let them know, here's when your appointment is. Here's your time frame. By the way, I'm on my way. And guess what? You're in the time frame. You knock on the door. Your van or your truck, man, you got a nice wrap too. You got a nice wrap. I like it. So you look professional. I want your business name, Appliance Professionals. I don't know if I can live up to that level yet.
Whatever.
I might be about here. I got the award. Okay, most professional servicer. But you there, man. Dude, your shirts look sharp. They're A1. So you show up, you look the part. Clean look. Got you shaved. That you ain't got a beard. You look the part. You smile. You're in the house. How you wowing now?
Oh man, hey, look, that's where I perform at. So I wow by making a connection. You know, first thing I'm going to do is just the primary thing that our market loves is somebody who's local. Okay, so I make that local connection. You know, it's like, oh man, it didn't take me long to get here at all. I'm right here in Crestwood. You know, I live right on the line. Blah blah blah. You know, so we start talking about that. They got a dog, Fluffy, over there. You know, as they always say, hey, which pet do you love the most? Whichever one the customer has. Okay, so I'm rubbing Fluffy over here. You know, we're talking, and I try to always put that military connection in there. Because what I'm doing is I'm building themes. So number one, I'm local. So the theme is I'm a trusted local guy. I'm in the community. You know, you want to support me. Second thing is military. You know, I have that one shirt with the Army logo on it right there. But I'm going to talk about, you know, hey, you know, I moved out here 2 years ago.
I got to get those, man. I saw that. Man, he's got Appliance Professionals and his Army logo. We were just talking, my team. I don't mean to cut you off.
No
we got a couple veterans. Like I'm a veteran, right. and one of my techs is a veteran, and we got to show that. I was thinking, how do I show that? And you got the freaking logo. I can get Navy, he can get Army. Mine will be better than his and yours, but that was sharp, professional.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Go ahead. You making the military connection?
Yep. Second thing is I'm making a military connection. So, you know, I dabble in there. Hey, you know, 2 years ago we moved from Fort Knox. I was living on the base. We moved out here because we love the area. You know, so you start talking it up, and then the third, and on that same note, I try to find out if anyone, you know, any of the people, any of the customers have served, because I'm giving them a 10% military discount. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. So that's a whole nother level. But yeah, it's just, like I said, coming in, making that connection, being very professional the whole time, taking the time to stop and understand. Okay, so I put my bag down. I stand over there. I say, okay, tell me what's going on, you know, and we just have a conversation about it, you know, because they're like, well, I think it's this, I think it's that. I looked on YouTube. Oh, you always get that. I looked on YouTube. I don't judge. It's like, okay, yeah, man. And I tell them, I say, wow, you know, a lot of people don't even do basic troubleshooting. You guys, like, you're really trying to figure this thing out. So yeah, let's work. I put my head, you know, put my light on, you know, let me look at everything. Let's get the facts. And I just talk to them throughout the whole process as I'm working, just to educate the customer.
Yes. To translate from South Florida, sitting in his living room, holding hands with David Costanzo. You saw it here first. Wowing starts with compassion for the customer. Meet them with emotions. Show them you care. And bro, that's what you said. You're going in. You're happy to see them. You're ready to solve their problem.
And you talk to them first.
You're building that relationship. man. That's see, they're sitting right next to each other. He's already on it. He's on it. All right. What you did there, man? You're talking.
Yep.
You got to break down that barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So the average customer's calling, man, my fridge ain't working. Not only is my fridge not working, I got to call somebody that's just going to try to sell me something. I don't even know if they're going to tell me the truth. How many of you have brought your car to a mechanic and then they fix something or they give you a quote and you're like, oh, I don't know anything about it. All right, I'll pay $378. And then it doesn't fix it. It's like, and you get stung, man. The service stigma,
Yep.
it carries. You got to understand that your customers are feeling that way, and break that wall down. You know, Lamar says, "Hey, I'm just right here in Crestwood too. Me and my wife and kids, we live over here. You know, I like to give a teacher discount, right? And I say, look, you know, we got 4 kids. I know what it's like to keep my kids all day. I thank you for taking care of them. And, you know, make little jokes.
I like that.
You know, you're not robotic.
Right.
You're showing them that you're a person, and not only a person, but a person that cares. And all right, so that's another question. We'll get to that in a second. But
good question.
It is a good question. But I'll tell you, you can't answer that question until you've done the stuff we're talking about. Right? You make that intro. You're figuring out exactly what the problem is. Like, what's their complaint? You ain't fixed it yet. You ain't even touched it yet. From the time you walk in the door to the time you get to the problem, the problem appliance is what we're talking about. You're building that relationship. You're sitting in front of it. They're talking about it. I don't know why we got to stand in front of it to talk about it, but yeah, that's where you're doing it. And then they're done. You're like, all right, I'm gonna get started. Should I leave you alone? I wish all of them would leave me alone. I'm not all of them. Let me back up. Some of them they can sit 10, 15 feet away, out of my way. We just have a little random conversation. It's okay. Now when I gotta focus, excuse me, I gotta pay attention to this part. But should I leave you alone? They ask.
Yeah. So and it's just natural for me. It's kind of hard for me to kind of explain it. So I had the other day, you know, I'm sitting there working. The customer's like, "Oh, you probably want me to just, you know, let you get to work and go sit down somewhere." I was like, "No, absolutely not." I said, "I enjoy talking to you." You know, I said, and I tell them, I was like, "I would talk to you all day." You know what I mean? But and it's always part of the interaction. Now there are points where, and I'll explain to the customer, like, you know, if you have a refrigerator, you need to listen to see if the fan's coming on or something. You know, I'll be like, you know, hey, ma'am, can you turn down the fan or whatever else you have on over here? And, you know, just give me a moment. I need to kind of just focus because sometimes you can hear things that may give me a clue of exactly what's going on. You know, and customers respect that. But yeah, I would never come out and say, hey, leave me alone. You know, like, once again, I love talking to customers. So I plan large enough blocks between jobs so I can have a conversation before, do the job great, and actually sit and talk some stuff after. You know what I mean? Put my bag down and we just shoot it for a little bit. That's just the way we work. And I tell my texter the same thing. I was like, I don't want you running 9 calls a day. I want service excellence is our business plan's top priority. So I want you to provide excellent service so we can get the reciprocal benefits of that long term.
Amen.
That's just the way we work.
I'm glad you said I don't want you doing 9 calls because I like 6 to 8. So if Terry, he don't like 9 calls. 8's fine, okay? Chill. Terry's one that I don't know how he can do it so fast, so early on. He can handle 10 if they're close enough, and so I'll give him 8. I'll give him 6 to 8. I do like this. I tell teachers they have a front row ticket to heaven. They like it. Hey, that's good, man. I might use that. So should I leave you alone? I mean, I've never had anybody ask me, should I leave you alone? Now, I've had a couple where they're just kind of awkwardly standing there. I'm like, hey, you know, if you got stuff you got to do, I'll holler at you when I find something. You
Right.
know, I try to give some little nudge, like, hey, I'll take care of it. I'll let you know. And my tech, 5-star Mike, shout out to Mike. Uh, if they're standing there, he is excellent about involving them in it. Like, he'll pull the heating element out and say, you see here, and you know, right here's where it broke. And he pulling the little coil up, say, hey, here's where it broke. When he brings in a part, make sure it's in the box, cuts it open in front of them, and say, here's the new part. See here, man, that's if they're going to stay, involve them in it. Show them this is how I found it. This is what's wrong. This is why what we're doing is going to fix it. You're not going to have to call us back. We're using OEM parts. They have a guarantee on them too.
Absolutely. A lot of times I like to actually explain the theory to the customer, you know.
Yep.
And once I do that, it's like you just suck them in because they get it. Like they're reading, they're saying it back to me. Oh, well, that makes sense because da 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 da. Absolutely, ma'am. You're man. I say you're on it. I say, and then I say, hey, you looking for a job? I can use another tech. that just blows it up for him right there. I can use another tech.
Yeah, I have some of them say, you know, I changed the bearing on my front load washer. I'm like, shoot, one job. I don't want to do that. That's a hard job. So you've made the repair, right? We talk about showing them what's going on. You're closing the deal, right? Or it could be making the sale, right, or closing the deal, whatever it is. I think we already answered that. How we wow them at that point, right? You're letting them know, hey, I'm not guessing. This is what I've done to figure it out. Here's what I believe it is. By the way, I have the part, or you don't have the part. Say, I've checked the 4 or 5 suppliers I have. This is the one I can get the fastest. I can be back in 2 days, and or I can be back tomorrow. Whatever the date is. Hey, I'm sorry, it's back ordered. It'll be 3 weeks. You're up front. Whatever it is, you've got the answers.
Yes.
Here's how much it costs. Here's when I can do it. Now, later, much later, I can't get the part. I'm sorry. Whatever it is, you're telling them, right? By that time, which we did our presentation in Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. By that time, you've built the trust. You've built the likability. Wow. You've made them, wow. They're impressed. Well, you ain't nothing like that shade tree mechanic I had look at my car 3 times. I trust you, right? That is that's the wow. By that time, you're telling them a number. If the number seems reasonable to them, mm-hmm, you got them.
Absolutely,
you got it. And it ain't a I got you.
Right.
You got the sale. You know,
right.
We talk about you got to be a salesman first and a technician second, right? And I hated that first time I heard it. Salesman. I'm not a flipping slimy salesman. But the best salesman ain't salesmen.
That's right.
They problem solvers.
Yep, they're authentic.
Like, I'll tell you one dude that's really good. Saul Flores. Down there in Florida. Mm-hmm. He's never even tried to sell me a part, but it makes me want to use him more.
Right.
Because I like him. He cares. You know what I mean? He presented himself as a professional. And that's what we do. You know, you think about anything that you've bought from somebody, they've gave you a reason to want to buy it. You don't have to ask somebody to buy something that they want.
Right.
Take my money is what it's like, you know. You got that meme, like, just take it. Yeah. You got what I want. A solution to my problem. and I like you. Right? I'll pay a little more if I like you. Yeah,
Bonus.
I've caught myself
Value.
doing that.
Yep.
And that's why we become professional appliance professionals in Louisville.
Absolutely.
That's what it is, man. He says reschedule it as when reschedule it when possible. Yeah, I personally try to reschedule it in the house. My techs, they don't really have that opportunity. I could. I just say, hey, tell them we'll call them when we get the part in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get to a point where I just let them pick a day. Like, hey, find the day that you're open and just slap it on there.
Right.
That way we get it as fast as we can. Mark Kelly, another professional.
That's true.
You can't tell in his Hawaiian shirt on the beach with the wife. So the ones that bother me are the ones who ask me what the problem is as I'm setting my tools down.
Mark, you're spot on, man. Did you figure it out yet?
I'll take it one step further, Mark. They're on the phone, right? My washer don't spin. Should I buy a new one? I don't know. Do you want to buy a new one?
Right.
I mean, maybe you ought to. Are you trying to? Am I giving you permission to tell your husband, hey, the appliance guy says buy a new one? Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's it cost to replace the control board? Like, why do you want to? Are you sure? You sure it's the control board? Or like the dryer heating element? My dryer is getting really hot, but the clothes ain't getting dry. How much to change the heating element? Your heating element's fine.
Right.
It's heating. Heating really well. You got other problems. Sure, I'll replace your heating element. I don't do that. It says Andrew says we're already under promised as service people. It's easy to over deliver. Hey, not for everybody, but yeah, the ones that are doing it right, the bar is set so low.
Yeah, it is.
All you got to do is answer the phone, like Lamar said. Hey, you answered the phone, and it's a person. Hey, you showed up. Like I've had a couple of them where I show up right on time. Like I'm at 11 to 2 time frame, and I'm right there at 10:57. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, 11 to 2, right? I said we're on the way. And he said, yeah, but you're on time. Why? I've got him already because I showed up.
We had a guy we booked from 7 to 11 a.m. You know, my wife always says that means we can show up at 7, we can show up at 11, you know. So we gave him a text at 6:30 in the morning, showed up at 7. He finally answered the door. He's like, you see a wipe sleep out of his eyes, and he looked at me and says, do you always show up this early? You know, that's when I throw the military story in. It's like, sir, you know, I just retired last year. You know, if I tell you I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be on time. You know, but yeah, absolutely, you got to show up in that window, be on time.
That's it. All right, so you've made the sale. You're walking out the door. Last chance to leave that lasting impression. The most important thing is the first impression. Mm-hmm. Second most important thing is the last impression. How they remember you. How do you wow them as you're walking out the door, brother?
So a couple things. Number one is I make sure I clean up anything, you know, because I put my little cover down, make sure everything's covered. So you want to make sure you leave their house, you know, in as good or better shape. Hey, look, I've been behind the refrigerator sweeping. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm going to sweep this up. I'm going to clean it up, clean the floor, clean the counter, whatever. I do stuff like that, especially if it's a quick job and I get in and out. I don't want to seem like I'm just in and out. So I'll start cleaning and do some stuff to burn some more time and spend some more time with the customer. And then, you know, I'll give them my card. But the big thing for me is, you know, ma'am or sir, you know, you got any other questions or is there anything else that I can help you with? You know, I leave them with that. and leave with my card. I have the magnets now for the fridge and the washer and dryers. But that's all. I just try to take my time. So I'll take my tools to the truck and come back,
Really?
and have that conversation, see if there's any more questions. And, usually we just talk about local stuff.
Yeah. Just whatever, following up with the conversation you had when you started, right?
No,
do you have a closing joke?
I don't have a closing joke. I don't. If you got some, I'll take it.
I mean, as you're walking out the door.
Well, of course, sorry. There's the one that I always tell the customers, like, hey, I really appreciate doing business with you. I hope I don't have to see you again anytime soon. But if I do, give me a call. But yeah, I don't have a closing joke.
Oh man.
Break it down, brother. I'll take it. I got my pen.
You stole my thunder, man. That's what mine is. I got it wrote down here. It was in my presentation. You might have took it from me.
I probably did.
Well, I sure hope you don't have to call us again, but I wouldn't mind if you did. Yeah, and it's different for each thing, each situation. If raining, hey, try to stay dry. Have a great weekend. Whatever it is, just one last time to be personable.
Right.
I'm not a service business that took your money. We're friends. Right. I just helped you. I spent 30, 45 minutes in your house. I know your kids now. I've pet your dog. We're friends.
Right.
And heck, my guy, Mike, if he feels led, he'll even ask for a hug. I know it sounds weird, guys. We're in Kentucky, but
we're in Kentucky.
we got love in the South. Okay. Now, it was an older lady, and he was just really good relationship conversation in there. And he's like, I feel like I need to give you a hug. Can I give you a hug? She said, come on in, honey. Hey, that's love.
Right.
They ain't going to they might not even remember what we done, but they remember Mike.
That's right.
They remember that when that guy comes back in my house, he's welcome to do whatever heck he needs to do. And our magnet on the fridge is why they know it's appliance repair. Chris, having people skills is a huge part of the wow factor. You can be the best tech in the world, but if you can't interact with the customer, it can make an uncomfortable experience for them. I'll tell you, some customers are transactional customers. We done a video last year about that, me and Zach, about relational customers and transactional customers. We want the relational customers. That don't mean we don't want transactional customers, right? Transactional customer, they just want you to answer the phone, show up on time, fix it for a price they're good with. Done. Come in, here's the dryer. Let me know when you're done. Fix it. Here's the bill. Hit the road. They don't care if it's you that comes back. They don't care if it's the next guy. They don't care. They don't want nothing to do with it. Just fix it and leave me alone. Easy customers. Easy customers. But we want the relational customers more because we're building that lifelong bond. Hey, our tag is we want to be your forever appliance repair company. You think anything appliance repair, you're calling us, right? If you're in Louisville, you're calling the appliance professionals. If you're in Lexington, you're calling the appliance professionals, aka EJ's Appliance Repair.
Right.
Semi-professional compared to Lamar.
Whatever.
But there are techs that are transactional. Excellent techs. They're going to get the job done. They may struggle selling some repairs. They may not get to fix everything that they set out to fix, because I come from industrial maintenance. If it's broke, they want me to fix it. I don't have to sell a repair. Just fix the thing. if you're in the home service business, if you want to fix it, you got to sell it. That's why it's salesman first. You want to do your job, you got to sell it. It's going to be uncomfortable for everybody. And people skills matter. That's why not all great techs are great techs in this business. That's Andrew says, I often keep cards in the van just so I can keep them engaged. Let me grab a card for you next time. I forgot them in the van. Okay. I got you. Says, I'm in 40 houses a week. I see it all, but that is really cool. Oh, yeah. So what is he? He's found something in the house that he identifies with, and it's just something to make a connection and make the customer feel special. I remember him telling me that in person. That is right. You can turn a transactional into a relational with many of these tips. Amen. That's why you don't say no to the transactional customer. Now, some of them are in the red flags, right? We talked about in the very beginning. If they're too set in their ways on transactional, they're only worried about how fast you can get here or how cheap you can do it. Now, there is some urgency. So I don't say any one red flag, we don't take the call.
Right.
Right. What we do is if you get like 2 or 3 red flags on the call, okay, maybe we don't need to be their person. If they don't like my service charge fee, they're probably not going to like my repair fee.
Right.
Right. They're probably not going to care if we show up in a nice uniform and decal bands and we send them text messages. They're not going to care if I smile when I get there.
Right.
They don't like the number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's plenty of people out here in Lexington. You know,
okay.
There's plenty of them with much lower service charges than we got. And some of them are good. You know, check them out.
We all have a choice.
I do like what Andrew said, though. If you find the transactional customer that finds value in the relationship that you build, the wow factor.
Yep.
You know what you have? You have a lifelong customer, a fan. And they didn't even know it. They didn't even know that they just became a relational customer. They might be transactional with the plumber.
Right.
Or the auto mechanic. But when they got that appliance repair, they ain't dreading that call. It sucks. They're going to have to pay, but they got their guard is down.
That's right.
Hey, we trust them. Yep. Doug, thanks for joining us, brother. Man, I need to get Doug on.
Doug.
I miss Doug. EJ has some pep in his step this morning. Thanks, guys, for the fact. I'll tell you what, Doug, this is my favorite topic. I'm with one of my favorite people. Lamar, the great topic. I let him pick the topic. He picked it, and we're on the same wavelength. We're both in the business of taking care of our customers and doing the right thing. And when you get with like-minded people that enjoy doing the right thing, this is a good morning. We didn't even pray yet. We're going to pray before we leave. We want to make sure everybody's prayed for before they go out. And if you're out already, we'll cover you. We'll backdate it. I'll tell you, the good Lord, he'll retrofit the prayers for you. Shoe covers. I don't use them. I make sure I wipe my feet. And if they ask me to, I'll take my shoes off. I'm not against shoe covers. It's just I don't do them. What about you?
I don't do shoe covers. I will take my shoes off and I'll ask the customer. And some customers will say, hey, can you wear something on your feet or take your shoes off? I always prefer to take my shoes off. I always tell them, I was like, hey, my socks are clean. That's as I walk in the door and I was like, I have no problem doing that. I said, do you want me to leave them inside, outside? That little small detail matters for some families.
I'm like a kid when I was a kid and I used to take my shoes off and run and slide across the floor like Dirty Dancing. I like going in my socks. Kyle, Kyle's alive, everybody. Attention.
What's up, Kyle?
Kyle Dunn. Thanks for joining us, brother. I haven't seen you in a while on here, Kyle. Where you been, bro? They working you too much? Give me his number. I'll call him up. You got to get your day started with us. All right. So we're done. We've sent the finished text because we have House Call Pro. They're getting the finished text. Hey, work is complete. Give us a review, right? We thank you for letting us take care of you. Don't forget to remember us next time. Wow, we've wowed them, man, and we've built the trust, the likability. We've wowed them. We've made the sale and the repair, and we stand by it. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. We're at an hour. Is there any closing thoughts before we pray?
Man, you summed it up. Great laydown. Great laydown. Appreciate everybody
for joining us, man. Hey, if you're out there watching us, give us a like and a subscribe. Give us one for Lamar. I'll give them to him. You give us likes on YouTube, I'll make sure he gets them. Okay, and tune back in Monday morning. I don't even know what's going to happen. We'll see. But let's close it in prayer and have a great day, everybody. Lord God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord. We thank you for Fridays. We thank you for the prospect of a weekend off. Lord, we thank you for the jobs you've given us, Lord. We do appreciate them, and we do love what we do. And the customers you put in front of us, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather here with my brother in front of all of our friends in the community. Lord, the mission you've put on our hearts to elevate the industry and bring positivity and share your love with everyone. Lord, we don't take it for granted, Lord. We ask that you stay in this each and every time and guide and direct our actions and our words. That only good things come from it, and people feel the love we have for all of them. Lord, we ask you to take care of all of us, all of our techs and all of our office folks. Lord, keep them all safe today. Bring them home to their families, Lord, and just bless all of the interactions, that all of the customers will feel the love that we bring into their home, solving their problems, Lord. And we'll get to bring home the increase as a result. It's not about that, but as long as we're doing it right, Lord, that you'll take care of us. We ask all of this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Go out there, love somebody, get the job done, wow your customers, and be back here Monday morning or be square.
All right. Appreciate you.